Apple is gearing up to reveal its latest iPhone collection this Tuesday. And while anticipation is sky high, one specific model has been drawing the most attention: the iPhone 17 Air. At first look, this handset feels like the boldest newcomer in the series. Yet not everyone is persuaded. In fact, Bloomberg's Mark Gurman has likened the iPhone 17 Air to a very familiar chapter of Apple's past, the original MacBook Air from 2008, and not entirely in a flattering sense. Back in 2008, the first MacBook Air was groundbreaking in style. It was shockingly slim, highly portable, and unlike anything we had witnessed earlier. But here's the twist. It was also costly, underpowered, and suffered weak battery life. It stood awkwardly between Apple's cheaper yet more capable MacBook and its much stronger MacBook Pro. Put simply, it looked futuristic, but it carried sacrifices many users were not willing to accept. Jump ahead to 2025 and Gurman contends that Apple is set to repeat history with the iPhone 17 Air. Yes, the device will be slimmer than anything we have seen from Apple to date. But that slimness comes with a price, and that price could be features people actually value most: battery endurance and camera capability. Leaks point out that the iPhone 17 Air will only feature a single rear sensor. Think about that for a moment. In today's phone landscape, even mid-tier devices include at least 2 lenses. While top-tier handsets often offer 3 or even 4, Apple is moving against the current here, choosing thinness over flexibility. For photography fans, this feels like a serious downgrade. Then there's the battery. With less space inside the chassis, the iPhone 17 Air is likely to carry a smaller cell. Compared with the standard iPhone 17, that means shorter usage time, reduced dependability on long days, and more moments hunting for an outlet. Considering how much people count on their smartphones for everything from work to entertainment, battery sacrifices are a serious worry. So, where exactly does this iPhone sit in Apple's portfolio? The iPhone 17 Air falls right in the center. On one side sits the baseline iPhone 17, which will likely deliver better endurance and more cameras. On the other side stands the iPhone 17 Pro, which will clearly outshine the Air in power, features, and total performance. That positions the Air in a tricky spot. Too restricted to rival the Pro models, yet not really stronger than the basic version either. And this raises a larger debate. Does slimness still matter now? Back when notebooks were thick, heavy, and awkward, the MacBook Air's sleek design was revolutionary. But today's handsets are already slim, light, and pocket-friendly. Removing a millimeter or two simply doesn't make the same impression it once did. In fact, as Samsung learned with its Galaxy S25 Edge, another super-thin device, buyers aren't exactly eager to trade power for a leaner form. The S25 Edge was an engineering triumph, but its sales figures didn't match expectations. Apple could be staring at the same dilemma here. But here's the interesting part. Gurman doesn't think the iPhone 17 Air is intended to be a blockbuster product immediately. Instead, he sees it as Apple's way of offering a glimpse of the future. Think of it as a prototype in disguise, a method for Apple to test out fresh battery chemistry, novel engineering solutions, and new production approaches. Over time, these breakthroughs will filter down through the broader iPhone catalog, influencing tomorrow's devices. In that sense, the iPhone 17 Air might be less about being the top phone right now and more about laying the groundwork for what follows. A thinner iPhone across the entire lineup, possibly even a foldable handset sometime ahead. These possibilities all originate with what Apple discovers through the iPhone 17 Air. So, should you actually buy one? That depends on your priorities. If you're someone who values cutting-edge design and wants to own a piece of Apple's long-term vision, the iPhone 17 Air could be the right choice. It will definitely grab attention and highlight Apple's creativity. But if your focus is more on practicality, such as battery life, camera quality, and overall value, your cash is probably better spent on the iPhone 17 or the iPhone 17 Pro. Ultimately, the iPhone 17 Air is shaping up to be Apple's boldest gamble in years. Much like the first MacBook Air, it may not